And welcome back to the Commissioner's Corner. We are here finally at the Final Four after the Thanksgiving break, and we have on slate on Sunday two doozy of a matchups. And I am so excited to be there on the call, filming it all and broadcasting it to you all during the week. And let's just get right to it. I mean, the Final Four, we have one surprise team in there. We had one upset last week where the Dolphins beat the Texans, but the other three were pretty much the top three teams, top three, four teams in the league throughout the season. So not much of a shocker there. But let's get right into it. Starting with the 9 o'clock matchup. The 9 o'clock matchup, we have the Eagles, the number 2 seed, taking on the Niners, and two really, really good squads. It's one of those games that really can go either way. So any prediction going in is more or less meaningless, but let's get into it. Captain of the Niners, we have Mo Dewick, put on a masterclass last week or the last time on the field, and just doing his job, so to speak, against the Ravens, and just was surgical and precision and had to run when he had to and did a great job overall. Momo Levy at wide receiver, the number one receiver, one of the top receivers in the league, even in the community. I know you all make fun of how I wax poetic about Momo's abilities, but I am just, I don't change my stance. He's that good. Then Shua Danny, just a really good number 2 option slash tight end. Great job defensively as well. One of those rugged, dirty players. Joey Alalo having himself a really nice season. Chaim Zev Shoshana, we saw last week with a big touchdown reception, part of the fold on that offensive team. When that team's humming, they're tough to beat. But when they're not, obviously, that's when they're pretty beatable. I just didn't break any news right there. But last week they were humming. Just to finish off that squad, Joe Daba on the line, and Benahamo has just been spectacular. Nothing else to say about Benahamo. Defensively, he's a ball hawk. We saw 4 interceptions, a pick 6 last week. 2 of those interceptions probably should not have tried to make those 2 catches. Kind of hurt their team, but still, he is just a defensive whiz, and we see he's also has a great capabilities offensively, good hands, good player to have. Just one of those guys. And they're going against the number 2 seed in the Eagles. I mean, Jimmy Cohen at quarterback, it's been a revelation. He's been great. Uses his legs when he has to. Kind of a similar year to Mo Dewick, but just been more consistent with it. Michael Panitz and Dubin, that 1-2 punch has been unstoppable, more or less. Can't guard them both, can't double them both. Then you have Jake Luck just manning the middle. Also, that whenever you need that big reception over the middle, he's just a big frame, and Gluck is just great at what he does. Then Shmuel Lewis in the news, also pitching it at tight end and also at on the line, just a really, really good player, good football player. You have Noam Katzel and Erwin Sutton and Charlie Mizrahi to round out the bunch. Good team. They're the number 2 seed for a reason, and really can go either way. If I had to gun to head, I am taking the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly, all the way to victory into the Super Bowl. Now let's move on to the 10 o'clock matchup. This is one of the teams, like we said before, is a surprise team. The Dolphins really just upset the Texans, no other way to put it, and they look like a really dangerous squad in the process. Saki Citrin, we see why he's considered an upper echelon quarterback, just the improvisation, the playmaking skills, the ability, the deep ball ability, just really, really good quarterback. Does it so nonchalantly, cool, calm under pressure, just a guy that definitely can carry a team to a championship. David Abuka Cohen had an up and down year, missed a few weeks, but last week was ridiculous. Face of a franchise-esque. He was sacking the quarterback, diving, deep threat, touchdown guy. Buka showed why he was drafted where he was drafted, warranted his draft stock. Basically showed why Fonz was correct for taking him there. And then you have one of the fastest receivers with great hands in Joe Torquia, also just a vertical threat. Anytime he's on the field, also great in open space. And then after Torquia, Fonz himself just brings all the intangibles along with, as we saw offensively, when they do need to feed him, he does have the capabilities. Not the fleetest of foot, obviously, but definitely has the hands to make a reception when it counts. Sammy Soria, dynamic rookie, part of this spectacular rookie class that we have. And he's also another deep threat. Also that safety valve, whenever they need a big reception, he's there. And then Victor Abadi, with or without his front 4 teeth, he's still just a good guy, good glue guy on the squad. And then welcome back to Charlie Baton. Had to miss the last several weeks due to an ailment, but he is back just in time for the championship game weekend. And then to round out their team, the boogeyman, Aaron Gruskin, makes his living trying to get to the quarterback. And this week I think he might be the linchpin to this team winning or not winning. If he can get pressure on Siegel, that would be go a long way for their chances. Now, leading into the next team, the number one seeded Cowboys with one loss on their resume, and that was in a throwaway week where they just didn't even have their full squad, and they already clinched the number one seed. So they've been just dynamic, lights out all year. Ellie Siegel at quarterback can pretty much do it all. Great improviser, great on the run, great. I think he led the league in rushing touchdowns. Just Ellie Siegel doing Ellie Siegel things, and that's kind of why they're there. Mesh Novaseller, receiver, again, he hasn't had a dynamic year, but when you need him in a big spot, he's there for the reception. Jojo Matute, another rookie receiver. He was ridiculous this year. There's no adjectives that I could come up with that can describe how great Jojo Matute has been, and he's probably been their most important player this season. We're going to get to the next player who is missing, Refuah Shalema Morty Sultan, 10 sacks, 30 receptions, touchdowns, conversions, been their gadget guy. He is actually missing this week, and they are having a sub. Last I heard, they are getting Chaim Landy as their sub, so that seems to be their guy. They were going back and forth, whether Michael Escava, Landy, all their requests, but I feel like they settled on their guy, and they're happy with their who they settled on. So I know he played together with Allen last year. Just a hard-nosed, dirty, gets dirty type player. So I think he'll fit the mold over here. Then obviously Alan Mustaki, just a stalwart on the line. Roden, another defensive ball hawk, like we said before with Benhamu. Jackie Sutton, and then rounded out with Yossi Abramson, who is a do-it-all receiver. Going to be a good game, obviously. At this stage, both these teams are here for a reason, but I feel like the cream's going to rise to the top, and it's going to be a chalk weekend, and we're going to be setting ourselves up for a Super Bowl, the number one versus the number two seed. Obviously, I can be wrong, and things will change and can change, and we'll see how the game script goes, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. I cannot wait. DFL at its peak, and I will see you all on Sunday.